friends, it's Miss Tracy from Smith County Public Library, and this is our last week of our summer reading program, Imagine Your Story. And today we're imagining that we're in a castle full of cats, which in my case is not that hard to imagine. Anyway, it's a wonderful book and I think you're gonna love it. So let's get ready for story time by ringing our bell. Everyone gather around, and then you put your hands together like this, then you put them forward like so. And you open and close them like a book. Read, read, read a book. Travel anywhere like this. Worldwide you decide, a book can take you there. So that's how that song goes. And we're reading A Castle Full of Cats by Ruth Sanderson. She also illustrated it, and it's beautifully illustrated. It's by, I always know who it is until I open it. It's by Random House. That's who published it. And we're lucky enough to have this book at our library, and I'm lucky enough to be sharing it with you. A Castle Full of Cats. All right, here we go. Once there was a queen who kept a castle full of cats. She loved the pretty ones and the plain ones and the sweet ones and the brats. I have some of those in my house too. Aren't they great? The cats were spoiled and pampered. They were the queen's delight. They dined on fish for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every night. Now look how spoiled these cats are. And look at the king's face. I just love this book. It's great. She's so happy, and he's like, oh, the cats. And there's just so many cats. And even the pictures on the wall are cats. I'm not that crazy, okay? But here's a cat, but I'm not that crazy. Here's Root Beer. He can also be a brat and a nice one, all combined into one. Mostly he's a big chonka. The cats had her affection. They knew this to be true. Now they had to find a way to win the king's love too. That looks like it's quite a challenge. She is not interested in the cats. Crazy king, right? They tried their best to please him in their oh so clever ways, and left him charming little gifts to brighten up his days. Look at the little gifts they leave him. Somebody put a mouse in his shoe. And this one's bringing looks like his hairpiece, and this one's bringing a fish skeleton. And yeah, they're trying their best to please him. I don't think it's working, because if you'll notice in his dressing room, look at the artwork on the walls around his room. It's all dogs. They raced him down the hallway. They scampered down the stairs and beat him to the parlor to warm his favorite chairs. They thought that might please him. Somehow, based on the look on his face, I don't think it did. I think he's afraid they'll trip him down the hall, down the steps anyway, and get fur all over his chair, which is probably gonna happen. The king loved art and music, so the cats each did their part, composing lovely serenades and making works of art. Look at their work of art. They're scratching on the wall. That's kind of what the cats do for works of art. And look at them singing as loudly as they can. And then the queen's expression, she's pretty excited, but the king is, see, look, here she is as a child, even then with a cat. So she's grown up with these cats, or some cats anyway. They sorted through his papers and studied every book and determined he would love them. They were determined he would love them, no matter what it took. Look how they're going through every one of his books and reading his letters. Again, he is not so pleased. In spite of all their efforts, they weren't his choice of pet. They're only being cats, my dear. No need to get upset. That's what the queen said. I know just how she feels. But the king had lost his patience. That's it. I've had enough. He dropped his spoon, he grabbed his cane, he marched off in a huff. Uh-oh. The king has left. The king has left the building. He's leaving. And look, they're all like, how about some fish? No, he's not going to stay for fish. The queen peered out the window. Cats perched on every chair. They watched and waited many hours, and then... ... The king was there, and look what he brought with him. a giant dog. Is this the end of all their games? An end to all their fun? Could it be quite possibly, are you ready? Yes, the games have just begun. Isn't that great? Oh my gosh, look at the castle now. The king and queen seem to be getting along though in the background, as long as someone else is there to pick up the mess from the dog and the cats. Oh, what a perfect present. And finally they knew. There was no longer any doubt. The king did love them too. Oh, they love his dog, so he loves them. Isn't that great? I love that book. Well, so speaking of castles, I forgot to tell you. Today is Monday. We started handing out our craft bags on Saturday. Excuse me, root beer. And the older kids are making their own castles. So obviously it's up to you to decorate them. But we have cut these little cardboard tubes for you, and they're in a bag with a circle cut for a roof. And the rest of it is up to you. And if you'll share your creation with us, you know, in a picture, email, social media, something like that, send it to us. We will give you a special prize. Okay, and if you've come every summer before this, then you probably know what the prize is because, yeah, okay. Anyway, and then for the little kids, we are making crowns with jewels. And tomorrow, being Tuesday, I'll tell you exactly, well, we'll talk about what it takes to be a royal, the kind of behavior you have to be worthy of the crown. So come on by, just pull up out front and call and say, we need our crafts. And if you're missing any, we'll bring those out to you also, everything we have left. And then I guess coming soon, we'll start a new adventure. Anyway, thanks for listening, and tune in tomorrow.